Southwest Airlines this morning received a big fine for its previous troubles last year around Christmas time. It also has big plans for the new year. We have a lot to cover with Andrew Watterson, who is Southwest Chief Operating Officer, and many of you will remember him from his years as an executive with Hawaiian Airlines as well. First of all, let me get your reaction to today's DOT fine for the service meltdown last December.
Well, I think it's appropriate. As I said when I had to testify for the Senate, that we messed up. We did take care of our customers right in the moment by giving them reimbursements of travel expenditures, refunds, and such. And so when you mess up, you have to own it. In this situation, the DOT follow-up fine, I think, is merited. We have invested tremendously in our operation so it doesn't happen again. So I think with this fine and agreement with the DOT and the investment we've made, that this kind of closes the chapter on this part of Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, you spent more than $600 million in refunds alone, so there was a cost even then. Since then, this December, you've had almost no cancellations. There have been more than 40 this morning, but as we were mentioning before we went on, there's some weather in the east.
Yeah, just like we're having rain here in the islands, there was rain in Florida earlier in the weekend that tracked up the East Coast, and so there's very high winds in New England and New York area, so airlines have essentially ceased operations for a period of time while we're waiting for the winds to die down. So hopefully that storm will pass and we can resume normal operations.
Now, a lot of people here who are fascinated by the idea of a lash-up between Alaska and Hawaiian Airlines would wonder why if I didn't ask you about that. So I wanted to give you a chance to explain some of the regulatory impediments you're under on that.
Oh yeah, and plus we just don't know. As you recall, when airlines merged, they promised their investors cost synergies and revenue synergies. Cost synergies just being they eliminate redundant costs and personnel. That's usually the modest part of the synergies. The major part is a revenue synergies, which means the acquiring company will redeploy the purchase company's assets and routes and stuff to get more revenue as a joint entity. And so that they don't really divulge. They divulge the amount right now, but they don't divulge what they're going to do. When Alaska bought Virgin America, they used it to try to, quote, conquer California, to basically try to displace Southwest Airlines. That led to a bit of a dust-up in California over the years. Good for consumers. I think in the end, we still have our position in the state of California. And so we're pleased with that, and we'll see what this merger entails. How will Alaska redeploy Hawaiian's assets to make the joint entity better? That could be either good news for some airlines and bad news for some airlines. We just don't know yet, but we'll probably know as the year unfolds.
And I'm sure that before that happened, you had your own plans for the new year, which largely are going to be unchanged because they're based on the market, not on stuff like that. So what do you plan for Hawaii service in 2024? Well,
I was in the islands on Friday to the Maui Convention and Visitors Bureau's annual meeting to understand the state of the visitor market there. We're the only airline that has not reduced capacity in this month in December. And when you're the only airline doing something, you have some self-doubt. So we understand what should we do with regards to mainland to Maui flying and what type of travelers should we bring back. And so their focus is on marketing campaigns to bring back the mindful traveler who will take advantage of the visitor infrastructure but still be respectful to the areas under restoration. And so we'll take that back and use that to modify our marketing plans so we can fill our aircraft with the right type of visitor for that market. And otherwise, I think for us is status quo for our Hawaii service until our next aircraft, which is the MAX 7. It's still under certification, and the first 30 of those we'll receive are ETOPS. And that'll allow us to put those on the inter-island market, which is a little bit smaller aircraft, and then also allow us to fly certain routes from the mainland that require higher performance. So that's our next step.
ETOPS means planes that can fly long distances over water. It was interesting when you started inter-island service here that you used the same planes that you used on your Transpac routes. Is that, at least for now, your intention to continue?
Yes, sir. The MAX 7s I mentioned, they'll see them, not exclusively, but a lot of them on the inter-island service, but also to the mainland. So in general, the day one of the aircraft is across the Pacific, day two in between the islands, day three back to the Pacific, across the Pacific. And that allows the aircraft to have a mixture of short and long flights, and it helps with the wear and tear of the aircraft. And so we prefer that kind of model.
It's Andrew Watterson, the Chief Operating Officer for Southwest Airlines. Our time is 7:16, and we'll have more sunrise for you in a moment.